You go to the module that says SAT Prep. There's a link to a Canva with these questions, okay? Everybody in this room should be paying attention. If you want to take a picture of that, that's fine. But at some point, you are taking an SAT or a PSAT in the next 2 weeks, okay? And this is not a skill that is taught in any class. It's not in any content. And yet, if it's a silly trick that if you learn, you get this question right, and that's an easy right question, okay? And this is the sum of quadratic solutions. So there's 2 tricks I'm going to teach you. One is sum of quadratics and one is product of quadratics. So if you look at the question, it says in the given equation, A and B are positive constants. The sum of the solutions to the given equation is. And if you look, this is raised to an x, the x is raised to the second, right? So that's a quadratic. So the trick for sum of quadratics is negative b over a. The sum of any 2 quadratic solutions, negative b over a. So what I do is I would say negative b over a equals, I'm going to come to my equation. The a is what's in front of the x squared, that's 64. And the b is what's in front of the x. So the b is negative 16a plus 4b. So negative 16a plus 4b means that sign goes away. 16a plus 4b over a is 64 is equal to the sum of the quadratic solutions. And in this case, it says the sum of it is k times 4a plus b. This will change. What it equals will change, okay? So then when I get here, the question is, how do I solve for k? Well, first of all, on the left-hand side, these are all divisible by 4. So I can simplify it, and I get 4a plus b over 16 equals k times 4a plus b. If I want to get that k by itself, what do I do with that 4a plus b? Divide both sides by 4a plus b, and when I divide with a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. And these cancel, and I get k equals 1 over 16. So it's a question that without that trick, I honestly don't know how you do it, okay? And that trick is not taught to you in any content. So negative b over a is the sum of the quadratic solutions. And then there's another trick for the product of the quadratic solutions, and that's c over a. So for me, product has a c in the word. So I remember that's the one with c, and sum does not, okay? So the product is the c over a. If you have that, then everything else is almost exactly the same. The a in this function is 57. The b in this function, well, I don't even need the b. The c in this function is ab. And this time it says the product of the solutions is KAB. So KAB equals c, which is ab, over a, which is 57. To get the k by itself, I would divide by ab or multiply by 1 over ab. And k equals, it cancels again, 1 over 57. So it's something that if you know the trick is not that bad. But obviously if you don't know that trick, you're kind of at a dead end.
How did you get KAB?
It gave it to you here. It said that it'll tell you what the sum or the product is.
You can go back to the last slide.
Is standard deviation and range, and this is something that's taught in statistics, but not in algebra or pre-calc or anything like that. And this is something that if you understand, this is like an easy question. This showed up on last year's PSAT. Okay, not this question, but a question on standard deviation. Standard deviation is like how clustered or spread out your data is. The more it's clustered in the middle, the better it is, the lower the standard deviation. So standard deviation is a bad thing. It means my data is all over the place. And the more aligned my data is with the middle, the more I know about the actual, like the mean would be more distinct. So in this one, this standard deviation is low because most of the data is in the middle. And this standard deviation is bigger because it's spread out. So if I'm comparing, it says S is the standard deviation, okay? If S is the standard deviation, then the S of 1 is lower than the S of 2, which is B. The second thing this asks about is the range, and the range is just the biggest number minus the smallest number. So think in our range on our graphs, we go bottom to top, it's the same concept, except we subtract them. biggest minus smallest, biggest minus smallest. That's what range is, okay?